All right, hey everybody, I'm Christine Morel, and today we're going to be talking about how I've booked myself for interviews and performances on major television like Fox, NBC, ABC, and even on major radio like Kiss FM, Power 106. And I'm not talking like little interviews. I've done like 15-minute interviews on these things. Do you know how much people spend for that? Companies spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for 5 minutes of exposure. I'm going to be showing you how I've booked all of these things and literally spent nothing, and booked interviews where I talked about my music, or I talked about my project, or I talked about a tour that I was doing, or I talked about a song that I was releasing. And then also how I booked performances where I actually performed my own music on major television. Are you guys excited about that? Put it in the chat box if you guys are excited. If you think that that would help you in your career, if you think that some of you guys have had like so many great songs that you just don't know what to do with, right? So put in that chat box if you're excited about today's training, because I have not taught this in a few years, actually. It's been a few years since I've shared this. So I'm excited to be back here. All right, awesome. Big Star says, I'm so excited. Mosaic says, yes. Kyle says, is this for cover artists or independent artists? This is for mainly original music, Kyle. So this is actually if you write your own music, if you have your own recordings, because this is what's great about major television. So I teach a lot, right? I teach how to do stuff with cover songs and how to do with original music. But with television, you usually can't perform cover songs on television because they have to pay a fee. So that's why they love when you bring original music. They love when you perform your original songs because they don't have to pay a fee, right? Instead, they're giving you all this exposure and you're excited, right? Because now you get more exposure, more fans, more followers, more possible people to like buy and support your music, right? So super excited. Nisi says, are you recording it for a replay? Yeah, I will be sending this out as a replay. All right, cool. Everyone's saying yes. Everyone's excited. All right, very cool. All right, let's start then. Let's jump through this. I think this is probably going to last an hour or two. I'm not sure. We're doing this as a workshop. What that means is we're going to work through this together. And at the end, you can literally take everything I teach you today and go submit yourself to major television. Like that's what's so great about it. So this is more workshop style. Okay, so this is going to be really exciting. Okay, so how I booked interviews and major performances on major television, including Fox, NBC, CBS, and more, without spending any money, a big fan base, or hiring an agent. So here's some cool pictures of like some of the TV networks that I've gotten to perform on and get interviewed. I think this was in Dallas, Texas, if I remember correctly. This was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've done it all over the country. Okay, I've done it in, this was also in Albuquerque. This was me performing. This was me performing as well. And you know what's really cool about that is when I performed once at Fox, this was one of the Fox networks, I performed 3 songs. And you know what they did? They took all 3 songs and they put them on different episodes. So even though I only showed up once, they took my performances and they put on 3 different episodes, which was like super sick. Because then I was literally on 3 episodes of Fox and I only had to convince them once. So that's just like the magic of this. I've been in newspapers and stuff. I've done everything, okay? Because I'm just like, why not? If you know how to do stuff, I want to be on blogs, websites, radio, TV, newspapers. I don't care. We want to get exposure everywhere, right? I've used the method that I'm going to teach you today to do all of this. This was me in a magazine, online magazine. This was actually a printed magazine, which was cool. That was really cool to like open it and see myself in there. And this was Fox News and other cool stuff. I've been on X Factor with Simon Cowell. I didn't even have to stand in line. I didn't stand in line at all. I didn't even show up at all to get on there. I made top 10. And I'm going to show you guys, it's the same method. I do this all the time. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's free and you can do it too. This was me on, what is that? Is that NBC or ABC? I forget what emblem that is. That was in Wisconsin, like just all over the country. You can do it as much as you want. All right. So I'm going to run through this and this is how this is going to work. Okay. I'm going to go over these 3 things. And then at the very end, I'm going to have a live Q&A so I can answer any questions that you have and help you guys through this. Okay. I want you guys to get results. I want you to walk away today being like, oh my God, that was amazing. I can't wait to go get myself on television. I can't wait to go submit myself. And this is going to be great. Okay. So I can answer questions as we go and, or at the end. I might answer a few questions here and there, but I'm going to move through this pretty quickly so we get through the training. Okay. So here's the awesome things I'm going to show you today. 1, I'm going to show you the one thing that got me on TV networks, magazines, big internet blogs, and popular websites without spending any money, without any big fan base, and without an agent. If you know me, if you go to my Spotify, I might have 2,000 monthly listeners. It is not impressive at all. Yet I've made multiple 7 figures in the music industry. That means multiple millions of dollars in the music industry I've made. And I don't even have a Spotify. I don't even have a decent TikTok. I've been on major television. I've been on national television. I've done all these things. So that's why I always tell everybody I'm living, breathing proof that all that dumb shit that everybody tells you about how you have to have a manager, record label, and all kinds of money, and you have to, spend and all kinds of time creating content every day. Like all that helps you, but you don't have to have it. Okay. 2, I'm also going to show you what to send to major media outlets to increase your chances of booking interviews and performances like tenfold. This is going to blow your mind. 3, then I'm going to show you how to find popular media outlets that want to feature you and your music. How do you find these people that want to feature you? I'm going to show you how. The last thing, I'm going to give you an offer to work directly with me and my team. It's going to cost money. You can sign up for it if you want, or don't sign up for it if you don't want, but it's going to be there. But regardless of what you choose, you get this awesome free training that you can literally implement as soon as we get off. Okay. So let's jump in. Here's a disclaimer. The results I've gotten are not typical. Why? Because I work my ass off, and most people are not willing to work their ass off. Okay, that's just the truth. I also have a decent amount of talent. It's your responsibility to be good at what you do. Okay. And then if you put in the work, you can get results. That is the only way. There is no shortcut. You have to be good at what you do, and you have to be willing to put in the work. If one of these is missing, you will not succeed. Okay. That's why I call my company Music Hustler, because you be a musician, but you got to hustle. You got to do the work. Okay. Nobody's here to hand it over to you. Nobody owes you anything just because your mama thinks you're talented. Okay. All right. So here's a little bit about me. I grew up in a really small town of about 8,000 people. Sharon says, I love you. I love you too, Sharon. You're so sweet. I grew up in a really small town of about 8,000 people. We were super poor. We grew up making about $100 a week. My mom's family had all migrated from Mexico. My family, literally, my grandfather literally swam across the river every day from Mexico to work in the United States. Every single day. That was his reality, right? And I grew up in government housing, and I didn't have a lot, but I had this piano, and I would play this piano all the time. And I would sing all the time, and I had this big dream of doing music. And as I got older, I recorded my first album in a closet, and I started selling my music door to door. So I would knock on people's doors, and I'd be like, hey, I'm a singer. You want to buy one of my albums? And most people would say no. They'd slam doors in my face. But occasionally, people would say yes. And that just kind of kept me going. So I learned that everything about success in business is a numbers game. How willing are you to keep going, even though the majority of people are telling you no? How long are you willing to keep going, even if maybe your music's not where it needs to be? But you're getting better, and you're getting better, and you're getting better, and you're getting better. That's the whole point here. It's not the best people who succeed. It's the people who are the best at continuing, at persevering, and going even whenever there's failure. Okay. As I got older, I was surviving off the dollar menu. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Like McDonald's, Wendy's, anybody that had a dollar menu, that's where I was going. I ended up being $15,000 in credit card debt. I was sleeping on a kitchen floor. It was just bananas. I even bathed in a gas station, and it was one of those gas stations that you literally bathe on the outside of the gas station. The bathroom is on the outside of the gas station. So I was literally bathing in the sink there. It was not a high point for me, but honestly, I chose that over getting a regular job. I didn't want to do anything other than music. That was just it for me. For me, it was, I would rather die. That was my reality. Some of you guys feel like this. You're like, I would rather die than not do what I love for a living, or not be able to share my music with the world. That's why I do these training stuff. You guys do that. Fast forward to now, I've now toured 6 continents around the world. I've done 2,500 shows around the world, all paid. These are not free shows. They're just 2,500 paid shows. I generated multiple 7 figures in the business independently with no record label. All right, let's keep moving. We have been told that you have to have lots of money. You have to have a big social media following. You have to get lucky for your music to be featured in media. This was me on a TV show in Los Angeles and Hollywood. I didn't have any of those things. And in fact, one of my students, Marcel East, got his first song he ever recorded in his life. He watched my training. Then he went and recorded a song, and he got on the CW network right away because he followed what I'm sharing with you guys today. Stephanie Marcel also did the same thing. She recorded an album in her bedroom. This wasn't like some big fancy project. She did it herself. It was not perfect at all. Yet she was interviewed on Fox for 7 minutes at no cost. Guys, that's normally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But it cost her nothing because she implemented exactly what I'm sharing with you today. Okay, now I figured this out when I was 10 years old. That was the first time I was on television, and the technique I used is the same technique I use now. I was literally on television when I was 10. I submitted myself for the first time when I was 10, and I got on television. Okay. Now, when I released my new album a few years ago, I had spoke to tons of different media companies, and they all charged thousands of dollars a month. You guys may have had this experience where people are like, yeah, pay us $3,000 a month, and we'll promote you. Now, there's rarely any guarantees except that they guarantee to try their best, and that's it. And in fact, I paid this guy $1,800 for PR work for just 1 month. And it was cool. Like, I got on like a few little blogs and stuff. But when I did it myself, I got way more done. Today, I'm going to show you how I got way more press on my own without paying a single dollar. Like, that was how I got on Fox. That was how I got on NBC. That wasn't through him. That was through me. Power 106, Kiss 97. I'm going to take my earring off because I feel like it's making noise. I feel like it's hitting the microphone. Okay. I did all that because of me. Okay. So everything I'm going to share with you, you can do because of you. I want to empower you to stop thinking that the world has to do something for you. The world will do nothing for you. The world owes you nothing. The world will do nothing for you. Stop crying about it. And instead, be excited about the fact that you have all the power in the world to change your whole life. And if you, once you accept that and stop thinking like, hey, I'm so talented, the world owes me something. If you start thinking, I'm so talented, I can go conquer the world. Oh my God, some incredible things start happening for you. Okay, so that's what I'm here to show you. I'm in here to show you the way. All right, you guys cool with that? Christy says, stop crying about it. I just hear it all the time. I just hear artists like, I'm so talented. It's not fair that someone else is so successful. Yeah, it is. They worked their ass off and you didn't. They took the right steps. They educated themselves and they learned what to do or whatever it is. And crying about it doesn't move you further. It moves you backwards. So it doesn't help you. Okay? All right. Let's jump in. The one thing that got me on TV networks, magazines, big internet blogs, and popular websites without spending any money and without hiring an agent. You guys ready for this? First, what you guys got to think about is, what is your story? Okay, if you ever noticed on a TV network, they always ask, what's the story? What's the story? They always want to know that, right? Think about, you're competing with other news. When you watch a news station, there's always like these headlines that are like, an asteroid is heading to Earth to obliterate mankind, right? Or a flying octopus is heading over New York City. You're competing with that. So then imagine if it was like, Bobby Smith is a really good singer who's releasing an album. Does that compete with those? It doesn't. So we have to think about something that is an interesting story of yours, okay? So if you're not paying for a time slot, you got to help them get ratings. You must give them a good story that can keep them watching. Otherwise, why would they have you on their station, right? Because that's how they make money. It costs them money to have you on their show. It costs them thousands and thousands of dollars to interview you. So it's not good enough that you're just talented. You need to give them a story that's going to help them get ratings, that's going to help them get listeners, right? So you got to ask yourself, what makes me interesting? What makes my music different? And why should they choose me over other people who are submitting? And how do I take responsibility to make myself a great candidate for their show? Again, always take responsibility for everything in your life and your career, and amazing things will happen for you. Now, your story, whatever you submit to them, must evoke emotion. So it could be sadness, happiness, inspiration, anger, laughter. It could be any of those things, but it has to create some sort of feeling. Okay? So here's the 4 questions you can ask yourself. Chris asks, will this work for a full band and not just a solo singer? They don't care. This works for anything. You could be a full 20-piece band. You could be a singer-songwriter. It doesn't matter. They just need something interesting. Okay, I've seen bands do it, and I've seen solo artists do it. First question, what is interesting about your past? We're also going to ask what's interesting about your present, what's interesting about your song, and what is interesting about your future. Okay, so first let's ask what's interesting about your past. So here's some questions to ask yourself. Did you overcome a disability or great disadvantage to pursue your music career? I'm going to tell you, this is the easiest way to get on major news. They love, because there's families, always think about this. There's families watching, there's kids watching. They love a good success story, especially local television. They want to say like, you know, hey, local artist, Christine Morel is now doing XYZ. Okay. So other questions, you know, were you living with your grandma when you recorded your whole album in your closet? Did you survive something crazy? Did something interesting happen in your past? Were odds against you? Did you accomplish something despite a difficult challenge? Did you do something that also is relevant to the time that we are in that is also newsworthy? So I'll give you an example. So Marcel East, when he went through my course, his very first song he ever recorded, he had never recorded a song in his life. he got on the CW network. And what he did was, I had always asked, what is happening right now? At the time he got on, this was the last time I was teaching this. This was during COVID. It was COVID, the lockdown. So he said, so what he was doing was he was donating masks to different hospitals. He was like performing on live streams, and he was just finding a way to give back to the community. Well, because COVID was such a big thing going on, the news picked it up. And they said, you know, a local artist is performing live streams and raising money to make masks and donating them to the local hospitals. That was a story, because not only was it like, hey, like this artist is out of a job, like he's overcoming this obstacle, right? But he found a way, a positive way to deal with it. And now he's doing something great for the community. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is a very, you're very strategic with how you present your story. Okay. And the easiest way I've seen this done is by doing something that's like inspiring, right? So, or interesting. Like there's so many ways you can go about it. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys lots of examples, so don't worry. And by the way, I'm going to give you guys all the slides. If you stay to the end, I'm going to give you all this training. I'm going to give you all the slides that you can download. Okay. So now you ask yourself, what is interesting about your present? Okay. So when I did a 25 city tour around the United States, and I paid for it myself. I was performing at like bars at night, and then I was performing for kids during the day. It was like a charity thing that I wanted to do. I love performing for kids. And so I talked about how I was on tour performing for boys and girls clubs, and I wasn't staying in hotels. If you guys have ever seen couchsurfing.com, it's basically where strangers let you like sleep on their couch. I was literally sleeping on couches, on strangers' couches, while I was touring around the United States. It was an interesting story. Everybody wanted to talk about it. So I got on so many different networks while I was on tour, right? So are you accomplishing anything currently that is newsworthy? Like, are you doing any live streams? Are you raising money for anybody? Are you doing anything for charity? Like, those are really cool. Or if you're just doing something that you're accomplishing something, are you getting like lots of views? Are you doing something like, are you sharing an amazing message? Like, what are you doing? Are you performing on the streets with your guitar in the subways to survive? And I thought of this one, by the way. Are you driving Uber while serenading your passengers and collecting tips to pay for your next album? That's a story, okay? Like, it doesn't have to be some charitable thing. I like to do charity, and I like to bring a lot of, attention to that. But what are you doing that's interesting in your life? Half you guys, like, I was doing a webinar the other day, and there was a guy who was literally homeless, cooking in the forest. I swear to God, he comes on and I can see his video, and he's cooking his meal in a fire in the middle of the forest. I was like, that's a story. Like, that's a story. You're a musician, yet you're literally camping out in the forest, cooking your lunch. Like, I was interested, and I was teaching, and I wanted to know what was going on, right? So here's another thing. What is interesting about your song? Okay, and these are all things that you want to ask yourself. Start writing them down. What is interesting about your story? You guys remember Beyonce's Lemonade album, when Jay-Z had cheated on her? She talked about it in the album. She talked about it in the lyrics when she was talking about Becky with the good hair. You guys remember? She talked about it. That was a great story. It made a lot of headlines. Ariana Grande, thank you next. She actually named all of her exes. That made a great story because she named like 4 of her exes. Adele, Someone Like You. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Like, that was a great story. Jay-Z, 99 Problems. Do you guys know the story behind 99 Problems? He gets pulled over, racially profiled. He has all kinds of cocaine that he's hiding in his car, in like his sunroof. And the cops, asking him, I'm going to search your car. Well, he happens to know his rights and is like, nope, you're not searching my car. And he's like, all right, I'm calling dogs then. And the dogs never came, and he was able to get away. But he was saying that in that verse, he was talking about 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. He's talking about the dogs. So it's interesting. Like, it's interesting to hear those stories. So whenever someone wants to interview you, it's an interesting story, right? Or Eric Clapton. Do you guys know Eric Clapton? Tears in Heaven. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Such a good song. If you guys don't know the story behind that, it is a beautiful, beautiful story. And he wrote that song. I mean, it's a sad, heartbreaking story, but it's a beautiful story of what he turned it into, what he turned that heartbreak into. So his son, I forgot how old he was, but someone had left the window open, and his son had run to the window, and he didn't know that it was gone, and he fell, and he passed away. He fell off of a building, and his father wrote that song in honor of him. And he used that song to just touch so many people all around the world. And he sang that song over and over again. You can imagine how hard it was to sing those words. You can imagine how hard it was to talk about it. But he used that song as a story to talk to the world. And that song blew up. That song was a part of a lot of people's healing. That song was just, it was a huge part of my life. I mean, I haven't had that experience, thankfully. But oh my gosh, like I can only imagine what that feels like to have written that, right? And so when you think about like, was there something really beautiful about your life, or there was something really heartbreaking that you turned into something beautiful? Like a lot of those things do really, really well on major television, and it just makes you feel good, because the thing is, you're going to get a lot of emails and stuff from people that are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing that story. You helped me heal. You helped me deal with this. I didn't want to even think about it. And now the fact that I saw that you went through it and you dealt with it and you made this beautiful song, this is my new favorite song, and it's helping me get through it. Those types of things are also things that I would say are like immeasurable. Like that's what reminds us that us as artists, we're very, very powerful human beings. And for us to have the power to heal and inspire people is something that you can't buy, right? And some of you have very inspiring stories. And by not sharing it with the world, you're doing the world an injustice. Right? You're doing the world an injustice by not sharing how you've, overcome whatever challenges you've had in your life. So number 4, what is interesting about your future? Okay. So for me, I talked about my upcoming 25 city tour because I went on a tour once again, and I set it up all by myself. And while I was on tour, I talked about it before I was on tour. So before I went on tour, I was on Fox. While I was on tour, I was on another Fox and NBC and CBS. And then after the tour, you can talk about it before, during, or after. If you plan it out, do it during all 3, right? And that could be you're promoting your album. That could be you're promoting a single that you're doing, a show that's coming up, right? It doesn't have to be a tour. That was what I was promoting, but a music video that's coming out. And are you about to do something that's interesting, fun, daring, charitable, dangerous? Again, anything that you're creating, it just has to evoke some sort of emotion. Okay. Is this making sense to everybody so far? Can I look in the chat box? Let me see if there's all of this making sense. Robert says, I use my lawn services and Lyft to help finance my record label. That's amazing. Like, imagine a story would be like, he might be mowing your lawn today, but he might be performing on big stages tomorrow. Lawnmower by day, concert singer by night. Right. Let's see here. If there's other questions here. Reaching out to booking agents, strength. Okay, awesome. If I see, Andrew says, I just wrote a bar using Clapton as a reference. Yeah, Eric Clapton. Oh man, he's classic, like OG, just amazing. Mario says, I'm a street performer and I do birthday parties and events too. Mario, that's a great story. Make sure you have footage of that you can share with them whenever you submit your story. And don't worry, I'm going to get into how to submit. But first, we have to just figure out what is interesting. Jay Thunder says, I drum on 42nd Times Square. Awesome. I was a street performer too. I was mostly performing on people's houses, so more like a doorstep performer. But I did that for like 8 years. I knocked on more than 10,000 doors in my lifetime, sang on so many different doorsteps. I know what that street life singer life is like, right? All right, awesome. Mario is also a Michael Jackson impersonator. See, this is so cool. All of these things, think about your past. Think about what you've been through. Think about anything that could be interesting for you to talk about. It could be your past, your present. It could be about your song, or it could be about your future, right? So we're still talking about future. So do you have an upcoming performance that is significant? So I was performing with the orchestra of last year, and it was significant because it was the first performance since the COVID lockdown. So I got on Fox and I performed a song that I wrote, because I also write classical piano. So I performed a classical piano song that I wrote, and I thought that was pretty cool. I also performed for returning troops from Iraq. That was a few years ago. And I made news for that. So what are you doing? And I will say, guys, I'm always going to encourage you to do charity stuff just because it feels good. If you've never done it, oh my God, it's amazing. But how cool is it that it also just helps your career too. It's awesome that it's like a double win. It's like, hey, I'm doing something for the world. I'm making a difference. I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like I'm using my talents and gifts for a reason. And I'm also building my career. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about that because they're like, it's not okay for me to build my career this way. Yeah, it is. When you build your career, guess what you do? You make more money. Guess what happens when you make more money? You can help more people. I have traveled all over the world. I've been to Africa. I've worked in orphanages. I've worked for kids that have autism and Down syndrome in other countries. I've done 25 city tours all over the United States, working with American kids that can't afford to have entertainment. And I performed for more than 10,000 kids over 90 days because I had the money to do it. Because I had the money. I pay for kids that have surgeries when their teeth come out and their lips are all messed up. I pay for those surgeries. I pay for those things because I have the money, because I've learned how to make money with my talents and gifts. There's nothing to be proud of. People always are saying like, I'm so proud of being like a starving artist. No, there's nothing wrong with it. I was a starving artist for 8 years, but don't think that there's something wrong with you being a successful artist, because being a starving artist is where we start. There's nothing wrong with it. Let me clarify that. It's where we start, and it's where I started. I told you guys we were making $100 a week. I slept in a car. I bathed in a gas station. I had no money. But it is our responsibility and our pleasure, right, to learn how to make money with what we do, because then we can take care of ourselves. And once we can take care of ourselves, then we can take other people, right? Take care of other people. If we have a cup that's empty, we can't help fill other people's cups. We can't do that. We have to fill our cup first. And then once I have my cup filled, I can go help other people, and I can help as many people as I want. It's very important. So I talk about this because I meet so many musicians that feel guilty about wanting to make money. I feel so many people that have like, money is evil. No, it's not. I have helped so many people because I have money. Now, an evil person with money, maybe that's bad because they can do a lot of damage. But why would you if you're a good person, then the more that resources you have, the more you can do for the world. Okay, so don't ever feel about that. So the more exposure you have, the more opportunity you have for this. And I love to talk about this because I think it's an important subject. All right, think about the things that make your story interesting. Okay. Next step, after you've decided, and don't worry, remember, if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you all these slides so you can go through these. I created a press package. I did all the work for the networks, and I presented myself in a professional way that made them consider me and then book me. I wanted to save them as much time, because think about a news anchor. A news anchor has to go out and find stories. They have to write headlines. They have to write questions to ask you. They have to find photos. They have to find videos of you. They have to do all this. This could take them days to create a story. But imagine if you handed it to them and you said, here's my story. Here's the headline. Here's the news release. Here's photos. Here's the videos. Here's everything for you. Do you think they would consider that? Because a lot of them are busy. They got other stuff going on. It would increase your chances 100 million times over if you did everything for them. Okay, so that's what we're going to discuss. So first, we need to come up with a headline. Your headline is the single most important thing that you're going to do when it comes to this. Okay, here's just some examples. Michelle says, thanks for the slides. I'll stop screenshotting now. You're hilarious. Yes, I'm going to give you all the slides, Michelle. Okay, don't worry about that. Headline. Bander artist name here. Will perform in Los Angeles, California to benefit disabled veterans. Right? That's just a simple headline. Or bullied singer overcomes depression and releases album of uplifting songs. These are especially good. Like, let's say it's like Bully Awareness Month. I don't know if that exists, but there's like different I remember it was like Mexican Heritage Week. And so I submitted and actually performed the national anthem at a LA Dodgers game. So also look around if there's some opportunities that you have because you're of a certain culture or of a certain gender, like Women Appreciation Week. I'm going to submit my stuff because I'm a woman. I submitted my stuff for, Mexican Heritage Week. I'm Mexican. And I performed at the LA Dodgers. So look for those little opportunities that you have. Or indie artist Happy Billy tours the US while sleeping in his van and documents his tour on Instagram. Like, are you sleeping in your van? Don't be scared to talk about that. This is part of your story, and this is not the end of your story. I'm going to tell you guys, like when I was bathing in that gas station, I remember thinking this is going to make a great story because I did not think that this was where I was ending. I believed in what I was doing. I believed in my path. I thought I'm bathing this gas station and I took pictures in my car. Actually, I should post the pictures in my car because I was like, I got to show people this. I remember when I was living in a garage, I took pictures because I was like, I'm going to show people of when I lived in this garage because this is not the end of my story. This is part of my story. Document your story. If you're in the middle of it right now, if you're performing on the streets, if you're, in debt, if you're living in a garage like I was, Document it. Don't be ashamed of it. This is part of your story. People love to hear about it, okay? The Latin band Caliente releases an album of lyrics created from love letters they found in their parents' journals. And maybe it's a special, Latin Heritage Week. Something like that. And you can find different journals and different websites and different TV stations that are specific to those types of things as well. Okay, so here's just other headline ideas. And by the way, put in the chat box if you have ideas for a headline. Put them in right now, and I'll check them out. I'll read them out loud. Cayesia Bevis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It says, my cat and I evacuated from 2 wildfires, and I had to stay in a van when hotels were full. That's awesome. That's your story. And you know what? You bring your cat on the television network when you go on. Everyone's going to want to meet your cat. I'm telling you right now. Okay, other headline. Artist barely survives domestic abuse and writes an entire album about her survival. Now is performing in women's shelters across the U.S. Or artist who was homeless and addicted to drugs now sings at drug rehabilitation centers. Or artist gets kicked out of Walmart parking lot for singing on top of a tractor while performing his own country music. I made that up, but I thought that was a pretty cool story. Or 5-year-old singer and mom go viral for singing Winnie the Pooh in random public places around our city. So do you see how some of these things are just interesting? Some of them are funny. Some of them are inspiring. These are all different. These are what I like to really focus on. Things that are going to bring positivity in people's life, because once again, the networks know that families are watching. Okay. Let's see if there's any other ideas here. Kyle says, I did a music video in front of Emmett Till's house. Ahmed says, from a war refugee to superstar, Jeannie survived the war in Ukraine by making music. That's a beautiful story. Sela says, parents left me in Arizona and was homeless at 15 and started making music no matter how. Another great story, right? Look at all these things. Gary says, I wrote a song based on dad's letters sent during World War II that he never shared with anyone during his life. Wow. During different historical, there's different months and different maybe Veterans Day, any of those types of things. Those are perfect times for you to submit in advance. Hey, on Veterans Day, submit to the television network. Say, here's my father's letters and I wrote a song about it. How cool would that be? Because it's relevant to the day and it's very interesting. It's very heartwarming, right? So we have a lot of, Anna says, me and my 9 kids live in a 2-bedroom. Anna, I got 1 kid and I have a hard time with him in my 1 bedroom. I can only imagine 9 kids. But maybe your kids are your inspiration for your music. Your kids are what drive you. Your kids are what makes, I know I never made more money than when I became a single mom, because my mentality changed. 9 kids is a whole other story. I don't even want to pretend I know what that feels like. But I know that when I became a single mom and I suddenly had to take care of a child and know that everything I did was going to, affect him, that changed all of how I was thinking. And guys, I just spoke on a stage of it was 6,000 people. And I told my story about how that happened. I was asked to speak there because of my story. Don't be afraid to talk about your story. Don't be ashamed about what you're going through. Don't be ashamed about where you're starting. Everybody starts from somewhere. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to say, hey, this is where I am right now, but this is not the end of my story. This is the part where it gets good. All right, let's see if there's some other people in here. Willie says, my father was murdered when I was 7. I wrote a song about it and it kept me reminded where I came from. I'm so sorry to hear that, Willie. But man, can you imagine the positive things that you could bring to people's lives when you talk about that? If you go on to continue to follow your dreams, can you imagine the healing that you can do for people if you're not afraid to speak about that? As hard as that probably would be, and it gives you purpose, and it gives you some sort of purpose in what happened for you to go out there and help other kids and children and adults that are going through that. Jody says, in an upcoming album from Jamaica, I need to relocate to the U.S. to the music. Nate says, I'm an artist from Virginia fighting depression, trying to make a way for his family. Awesome. Stephen says, success here seems easier when you are beautiful as you are and as young as you are. Stephen, that is just an excuse. I'm just going to start right now. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you can either make excuses or you can make history. I was homeless for 8 years. If it was so easy for me, I would have not been homeless for 8 years. So for you to say that, I went door to door on the streets, you're making an excuse for yourself. An excuse for yourself is never going to get you anywhere. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you can either make history or you can make excuses. You can either be a problem finder or a problem solver. And I didn't get anywhere making excuses for my life. And I'm telling you right now, the more that you make excuses and try to say, well, they can do it because of this, well, they can do it because of that, It's an excuse, and that's what your life is going to become, an excuse as to why you never achieved all that you want to achieve. So put in that chat box right now. If you want to make history, you want to make excuses, it's your choice. My mom was beautiful. We lived off of $100 a week. We lived in government housing. If you still don't know how to make money, you don't know how to make money. Now, is it probably easier if you know how to make money and you're kind of cute? Yeah, but you still got to know how to make money. Like, you still have to know. Like, you still have to know, like, all these steps I'm teaching you. I'm going to show you guys. I've worked with people who are 65 years old, booked their first $10,000 show, working with me after 8 weeks. And it wasn't because they were young and beautiful. It was because they followed what I taught them. But you know what? I had never booked a $10,000 show when I was the youngest and most beautiful of my life. And I was living in my car, bathing in a gas station. So that is an excuse. So if you want to make history, you want to make excuses, it is your choice. You can be a problem finder or a problem solver. That is it. It's totally up to you. Okay. I see everyone sharing their stories here. Harold says, I lost my parents along with 3 aunts in a car accident. Oh my goodness, Harold. Went to my parents' grave sites. The sad part is I haven't been able to grieve for my aunts yet. I don't know if you've done that through music. I don't know if you've done that with sharing your story. I know that's always been something for me. It's weird. Like, it's almost hard to talk about what you've been through, like if someone's sitting in front of you, but I know it's easier for me to talk about it in a song. You know, it's easier for me to sing about it on stage in front of thousands of strangers than for me to maybe talk about it to a friend. I don't know if you feel that way, but it might be something that you think about. Maybe you need to turn it into a song. Maybe you need to share it with the world. And then forever you have this body of work that can heal and inspire people that your children can listen to. I always think about that. I want my children to know how dope their mom was. I'm like, I gotta finish making some dope, even more dope music that my son knows. And he knows where I come from and knows I'm a human. He knows that I had normal emotions, you know, and hears those things and that it inspires him. You can like literally make yourself where you live forever through your music. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so next, we want to work on the paragraphs. Okay, so we have our headline. So you think about your headline. And now your paragraphs. We want to elaborate on the headline. So what are you doing? Are you promoting an album, a music video, a tour? This is where you're going to want to share the news. If touring, put the next tour dates along with the cities. Don't list the entire rest of the tour, okay? Just the next few days will be great. But if you have some shows coming up, feel free to put them on there. And I'm going to give you guys an example of a full, like, short press release that I usually submit, okay? And then sprinkles on the cake, step 3. We have quotes from other magazines or fans are great, right? You have some like cool, like, you know, such and such magazine says I'm the next upcoming big thing. If you have anything like that, or if you have awards, radio play, recognition, anything that you've received, you want to include this because it helps give you social proof. Okay. And then you want to include the contact details of the person in charge of media inquiries and include any relevant links, like where to get show tickets, where to download free songs. Like if you give away free stuff, that's always really cool. Or where to buy your album, right? Something like that. Let me see here if there's, I see a few things in here. Hey, Mita, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Symphony says, my artist was almost killed by his ex-best friend. Oh my goodness. That is not a friend you want to have. He hit him with a tire iron. He then woke up on Christmas Day in the hospital. Oh my God. Okay. That is a story. My goodness. I hope he's okay. I hope he didn't suffer any permanent damage. That's a terrible friend. Jesus. Arjunis says, Christine, you're the best. I admire you. I'm an artist from Mexico. Guadalajara. Greetings. Greetings. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to go into what the body is going to look like. Okay. So look, here's our headline. Indie artist Happy Billy is touring the US while sleeping in his van and documenting his journey on Instagram. There's our headline. In the body, we want to talk about it a little bit more, right? Billy bought a guitar with his last $1,000 on Craigslist. Just start naming all the things that are interesting about you, and has been performing live streaming on Starbucks, from Starbucks restaurants to pay for his gas to get to the next stop on his tour. Guys, this is a great story. He's been gathering avid followers as he performs his show while standing on top of his van in parking lots. Like, are you doing something cool? Like, what are you doing to promote your album? Some of you guys said, I'm driving Uber right now. I'm mowing lawns. Like, what are you doing? That's your story. That's what makes you so amazing. That's what makes you so strong. That's what makes you so unbreakable. Billy's new EP, Songs Recorded in My Van, can be found at billysep.com. Here's his upcoming performances, and we put a little short bio. And you can make this a little longer, guys. I made this a little shorter so that I could put it on a PowerPoint slide. Billy got to start performing on YouTube for tips, armed with just his cell phone and a guitar his grandfather gave him. He sang silly songs to the camera for the world to hear. Surviving off of ramen noodles and microwavable mac and cheese, Billy's determined to share his music with the world. And then you could talk about what he's doing currently and that sort of thing, you know, like just kind of jumping into it. Here's another example. Headline: Mary Helen is legally deaf yet releases her first album. This is using that, what I talk about, like, what challenge have you overcome? You guys are like putting so many things in that chat box right now, talking about the challenges that you've overcome. So many of you have achieved so much and you never even thought about it. Maybe you didn't want to talk about it again. I remember when I felt like I had to start talking about my past. I didn't want to, but then I thought, I can heal people, I can inspire people, I can motivate people. Why not? Right? Like, that feeling at least makes everything that I went through worth it. It gives it reason, right? I can give it some sort of meaning, because now I can use those things, and instead of just moving on with my life, now I can actually help other people. Okay, so artist Mary Helen is legally deaf yet releases her first album. There's your headline. Then you want to talk about more of what you're doing after that. So when Mary Ellen lost her hearing due to a rare medical condition, many assumed that her music career was over, but the determined musician refused to give up on her passion. And after months of learning to adapt to her new reality, she released an album that has been hailed as a triumph of creativity and perseverance. With the help of sign language interpreters and innovative technology, she found new ways to create and perform music, breaking down barriers and inspiring others in the process. And I saw someone on America's Got Talent do this. They were like legally deaf, and they went on and performed, and everyone was in tears, right? So I go on and on about, you know, breaking down. Here it is. Now she's using her platform to raise awareness about disabilities. She says, I want to show kids that nothing is impossible if you have passion and determination. For more information, please contact XYZ. So do you see how, like, and your story doesn't have to be this full. Like, maybe some of you haven't been through like crazy like challenges like that, but that's why I use those examples of, hey, maybe you're doing something really cool right now. Maybe you're performing live streams. Maybe you're doing charitable stuff. Maybe you're making TikToks with your grandma. It just needs to be interesting, right? It likes to be fun. I just like to talk about this kind of stuff because, particularly for me, it hits home because of the challenges that I went through growing up. And so I like to talk to people about it because I was ashamed about a lot of the things that I went through. And so I talk about those things because I like to help people not feel ashamed and talk about it and start to actually use it to their advantage. Hey, I went through some shit. And you know what? I'm going to write some songs about it, and I'm going to help the world. And I'm going to get on some TV stations. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to spread my message. Like, that's a pretty cool way to deal with it, instead of going, I'm hurt about it, I have flashbacks about it, I'm sad about it. Like, that's not the way to go, right? It's more empowering to say, I have control over this. And now I'm bigger and stronger and unbreakable. And now I can help other people. And think about all the children. I don't know. I just always think about kids, you know, and how much for you to plant those seeds in them, that they can do such amazing things despite whatever they're going through right now. So keep everything ideally on just one page. More than that can be an information overload. And I see a few things Michelle says. I'm a single mom, so broke and starved for 2 weeks. Now millionaire after finding Christine Morel. Okay. Let's see. West Coast says, just had a quadriplegic rapper at a show in Arizona. A friend of mine is literally quadriplegic. He cannot move from the neck down. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to talk to you guys about making excuses, okay? I'm going to preach right now. This guy cannot move from the neck down. The only thing he can move is his head. That is all. He's on a wheelchair, and on the wheelchair, he does these things, and it moves the wheelchair in whatever direction he wants to go. He recorded an entire album himself. He put a pen in his mouth, and using that pen, he hit record and stop and play. If anybody wants to come up with an excuse as to why they cannot record an album, think about people that have it way worse, that are in way worse situations, that have done more than you. There are always people that are in worse situations than you that have accomplished more than you. My friend, there is no excuse. He cannot move from the neck down. He's recorded entire albums. You can either make history or you can make excuses. Once again, your choice. Do you want to make history? You want to make excuses? What do you want to do? Doesn't matter where you're starting out. You can do anything. You just can't have the mentality that, hey, it's easier for everybody else and it's hard for me. Because all the things and all the stuff that I've accomplished now is because of my past. I became a very strong human being because of the things I've been through. If you've had it easy your whole life, you're weak. Look, I'm going to tell you guys something. When you go to a gym and you see someone that has like lots of muscles, do you think, oh, they've had it easy? No, you know that they've worked their ass off. They're eating right. They're sleeping right. They're working out at the gym for hours. It's exactly the same thing as a human being. You can become a beautiful human, strong, successful because of your past. It makes you who you are. Okay, next step. I'm going to show you guys what to post. Okay. So you want to create a one sheet. And this is just an example of like some one sheets that I found. If you create something beautiful like this, you don't have to. You can literally just send it to them like how I showed you, like the way the document looked. But if you create something like this, it just increases your chances. Okay. And you can make something like this really easily using Canva. So if you go to canva.com, you can make something like this. And I'll just show you, like, here's another young lady that I stole her picture, her one sheet. You know, here she has the name of the act, social media info, some photos, album artwork, short bio. And guys, you know what I like to do? I like to have a Dropbox folder. So I have a Dropbox folder and I keep everything in there separate. I'll have a one sheet. I have a document that has a press release. I put the photos in there. I put some videos in there. I put everything. I have links. I have everything in there. So I've done all the work. Once again, a TV anchor usually has to do all this work. They have to find out information about you, write questions about you, come up with a story, come up with a headline, find photos, find videos. They have to do all this stuff. It could take them days. But if you provide that for them and you hand it to them, already done, a nice little package, here's the link, they're going to consider using you for their network so much more. Okay? Next. Oh, I moved that slide to the wrong place. You're probably asking how to create a one sheet for free. Well, you do Canva. So this is actually what Canva looks like. I created a really fast one right here. It was so quick. It took like 10 minutes, right? I think the longest that it takes is like writing a bio or a press sheet. And guys, I use ChatGPT. Use it. I use ChatGPT for everything. I go on ChatGPT and I'm like, write me a biography and tell it what to do. Talk about how I was born in a city of 8,000 people, how I was raised on a farm. Talk about how I went door to door for 8 years. Talk about how I now have toured the world and performed 2,500 shows on 6 continents. And then, you know, let people know that they can find my music at christinemorel.com. I use ChatGPT. I let it ChatGPT. I write that. It writes me a nice little bio. I might adjust it a little. Use ChatGPT. It's free. And just put in the points of what you want it to talk about. And you can say, I want this to be motivating. I want this to be an inspiring thing. You can also say, write me a press release. And it'll write it exactly like a press release, guys. It will do this for you. I'm teaching you so that you know what it should look like so you can go in and edit. Just use ChatGPT. It's insane. Alan says New Mexico in the house. What? I am from New Mexico. Alyssa says ChatGPT is my best friend. Guys, we're in a cool era. I know everyone's all afraid of it. Guys, it's making humans superhumans is what it's doing. It's saving me so much time. Okay. So Andrew says, where do you find the people to give them your story? Great question, Michael. Andrew, I'm about to get to that here in just a second. Okay. Kyle says you can use ChatGPT to write one sheet. So I use ChatGPT to write the bios. I know that there's a few AI tools that can actually create presentations for you. I'm not good at them yet, so I can't speak on them. But what I do, I do it for the writing. So use ChatGPT to write your bio, use ChatGPT to write your press release. Like they'll write it all out for you. You just tell it what it needs to say, like what I told you today, right? You need to tell it, write me a headline where you talk about how I survived a fire with my cat and I wrote an album about it. You just have to tell it what to say, right? Give me 5 good headlines, give me 10 good headlines, and then say, now write me the rest of the article. So just tell it what to say, okay? All right, next, 2, what to send to major media outlets to increase your chances of getting included. I'm going to move through this fairly quickly, guys, okay? So how did I seal the deal and get booked for media? What I did was I created something I called talking points that I submitted them to save them time, okay? So typically, outlets are going to ask you boring questions. How did you get started in music? What are your inspirations? What is the style of music you make? What are your dreams? Where are you going from here? How can we download your music? Like, that's so boring. But they don't know what to ask you because you haven't given them the questions. So what I do is I just give them the questions. I say, here, you can use them or not. here's the questions about me that have worked really well on other radio stations and TV stations. And if you ask me these, I think they would go over really well. Give them the questions. So for me, hey, you bathed in a gas station, ate off the dollar McDonald's menu at your lowest point. How did you discover how to finally become a paid musician? It's a great question, right? Or hey, your family lived off of $100 a week and you lived in government housing, yet now you perform for political events for some of the biggest government officials in the state. How did you accomplish this? And maybe that's for like a political blog. So it needs to be relevant to the blog, right? Other things, you're touring the country with no money and sleeping on strangers' floors that you met on Craigslist. Tell us more about that. Like, these are all real questions that I gave to people, but they wouldn't have known to ask those questions if I didn't tell them my story. What are some of these questions? Put in the chat box right now that you think would be good if a TV anchor asked you. Put it in the chat box, right? And I'll read them out loud and we can go over them. Or hey, you're performing at Boys and Girls Clubs for free to help teach kids about following your dreams. How are you paying for this? It's a great question. You make YouTube videos with your grandma every day. They get thousands of views. How did you get started? And maybe you have your grandma on the TV station with you and you guys even do a performance together, right? Andrew, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Have some patience. You can't submit to them if you don't have the stuff to submit to them, right? That's like trying to become a doctor before you like go to school and become a doctor. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. All right. So here, come up with some questions. Let me see if you have. Lil Tunas, who are your musical influences? No, that's not a good question. That's just what I got done saying. That's not a question that you want them to ask you. You want to write down a question that's specific to your story. So Lil Tunas, what have you gone through in your life that would be interesting for them to ask you about? So, hey, you were born on a kitchen floor in the middle of a forest, yet now you're a rapper rapping at cool hip hop bars around town. Tell us how you created that journey. That's just a question that I'm coming off the top of my head, but you need to be something specific to your story. Okay, so we need you to, like, okay, Sia Bevis, what did you discover by being a multiple trauma survivor, right? Or maybe what song did you create? We heard that you wrote a song about going through multiple traumas. And what are those traumas? Be specific about those traumas. What was it? Was it domestic abuse? What was it? Be very specific, because the more general you are, the more it can sound like you're a beauty queen. You know, when beauty queens go up there and they're like, I want world peace. No shit. We all want world peace. But what do you specifically want? You know, like, I want kids to not have to suffer from poverty and not have to go hungry anymore. Like, be very specific, because that's what hits people. Okay. Let's see here. Why did you write a concept album about depression and anxiety? That's a great question, because then you can talk about your story at that point, right? Trace, what was the catalyst that started you on the road to recovery from alcoholism? That's great too. This is all great because that's specific to your story. And now you can jump into your story, telling your story, right? Those types of things are great. So that's what you're going to work on. So you're going to want, so first we talked about your press release, right? Second, we talked about creating talking points where you write out the questions for them. Does that make sense before I move on to the next? I'm going to show you how to find popular media outlets that want to feature you in your music. But before I get there, I just want to make sure that everyone understands so far. Everyone got it? Let me know in that chat box. Sayesi says, how did you deal with being court ordered to take care of the father who killed your mom? That's pretty deep. If that's like your reality, my goodness. Yeah, that's a crazy story, Sayesi. Everyone's saying, yes, you guys get it. Okay, great. Great tips. You send the police as Word doc. Hold on, Derek. I'm about to show you, okay? Well, I mean, I showed you the one sheet. So what you're going to want to do is you never want to send attachments on the email. So whenever you guys send this to people, you're going to want, that's why you need to make a Dropbox folder. Okay, so you want to make a Dropbox folder so it's a link that they can just click on, because you don't want them to have to download stuff to look at it, right? Whereas in Dropbox, you can look at it without downloading it. So on the email, what I usually write, I'll say something like, hey, I'm Christine Morel. I'm currently on tour performing for, Boys and Girls Clubs, or whatever it is, your story. Hey, I'm a trauma survivor that has survived, XYZ, and I just finished an album about it, and I'm now performing at women's shelters. Whatever your story is, I put like a short description. Would love for you to consider, me for a story. Here's all my information. Here's my press release, my photos, my videos, and everything about what I've been doing. And then also include like, hey, I was recently on another TV show, if that's your reality, or hey, I recently won this award. I recently got 1 million plays because of this. If you have anything like that, any extra accomplishments just to throw in there, great. If you don't, that's okay. When I started, I had nothing and I did just fine. Just make sure that you just really sell yourself on the story and how interesting it is. Okay. So, all right, next. How to find popular media outlets that want to feature you and your music. So that's what we're going to talk about that right now. Okay. You guys ready for this? So now, but you only do this once you have all the other stuff first. Okay. It's kind of like, don't submit yourself to record labels if your music isn't good. Like you got to create a good product before you submit yourself for you to have a good outcome. Right. So how to find popular media outlets that want to feature you and your music. So let's go there. So there's different ways that you can do this. You can do this online magazines, blogs, radio stations, websites, podcasts, television stations, and TV shows. The big ones, right, are the television stations. Those are super fun. TV shows are super fun, right? So what I do is I just go to Google, okay? And I type in TV stations in Phoenix. Okay, this is going to be so simple. You guys are going to be like, what? Why didn't I think of that? TV stations in Phoenix. Next step. This is what pops up on my computer. It's like there's all these TV stations, right? It's going to give you a list of all these TV stations. You click on one. So I clicked on one. And then it brought me to a website. And on the website, it has all the headlines, right? And then I just clicked on the menu because there's usually a link somewhere that says contact us, or it says send us a story, or it says submit a story. Guys, I've done this for Oprah. You can literally go to Oprah.com and submit your story. Doesn't mean she's going to have you on her show, but you can submit it for consideration. The fact that you can even submit it for consideration is bananas, right? So I just clicked on that menu right there. And yeah, Mita, ChatGPT. I'm telling you, ChatGPT, give me a list of everything. Tell it what you want. I need a list of local TV stations. I don't know if they give you the links. You'd have to check that. Give me the links of where to submit my story. Wouldn't that be great? That's what we need. And then there was a little link that said about us. And then literally there was a email there that just said, here, news desk. I submitted my story there. It's so simple, right? It's easy to submit. The hard part is to create something that makes them want to book you. That's why you have to create your story. That's the whole point. Okay. Kyle says, how many submissions do you make in a day? I mean, you could make tons of submissions in a day, guys. It's like, you guys saw how fast, like it took me minutes to find that one. And I need to experiment more with ChatGPT, but I'm sure they could give you like a huge list fairly quickly if you tell it exactly what you want. Right. So it's not difficult. Now, another strategy, okay? Another strategy. Go to the news stations that you want to submit to. Find out who all the anchors are. Follow the anchors on social media. That was how, when I showed you guys Marcel East, how he got on, it was through an anchor. So he found the TV network and then he followed the anchor. Now, another strategy is not to ask them to book you right away. Follow them, comment a little bit. Don't seem like you're just trying to get something from them, right? Support them too. And then after you've been supporting them for a while, maybe you've like chatted or commented a little bit with the news anchor, then let them know, hey, I have this interesting story. And then share it with them. And share them the headline. This is what happened. I'd love to submit this to you. Like, here's my Dropbox link. Here's my stuff, right? So when you're submitting directly to a person, I would advise to like and comment and kind of follow for a minute. Whereas like the email of like the news desk and that stuff, just submit right away. Submit right away to all of them. Okay. So that's what's really cool, right? So you just, it's a great strategy, right? You can submit directly to them. And then Stephanie Marcel just submitted directly to them. She didn't follow any of the anchors. She didn't do any of that. She just submitted directly to them. And she got on Fox. They interviewed her for 7 minutes. Actually, I have the footage. I should put it up. I need to find it. They interviewed her for 7 minutes. All she did was send an email. That is all. She went to the local Fox station, found the email, submitted her story, and she got accepted. It's not hard. The hard part is just doing the work. Create the story. Take the time. And it's not even that hard. Another thing, popular country music blog I Googled. And again, I went to here and I clicked on About Us. And it came up right here. It showed all the social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And then it showed all the emails, the podcast, everything. Contact founders right there. Contact founders. It has an email. So if you're a country music artist, you could literally contact them right there. Okay. Kyle says, what if they don't respond? Well, one, they don't respond to everybody. So let me just tell you guys that they don't have time and they don't have to. Okay. They have a million things going on. But I never send an email that says, hey, did you get my email? Of course they got your email. What I do is instead, I might wait a little while, maybe a month or two, and I'll respond with something else that's interesting. And I'll say, hey, I sent you an email a while back about some things that I was doing, but here's something I just wanted to give you an update. So you might say like, hey, now I'm doing this. Give them another interesting point. Now I'm doing this. Now I've done that. Now I'm, about to do this. What is now another interesting point of your story? Because maybe that other part of your story wasn't as interesting, or maybe it just didn't fit in with their week. Maybe it didn't fit in with their month. Maybe they already had the month booked out and they just didn't have a time slot for you. So don't take it personal. It literally just may be that they're already booked out. Okay. So like, that's what you want to do. You just really want to reach out to them again with something new. Don't say, hey, did you get my story? Don't do that. Because then if they didn't, like, do you really think they're going to go back through their inbox of hundreds of emails and try to find your story? They're not. So you want to resubmit all of your stuff again. Say, here it is again, but just to also give you an update. I'm now doing this. Like, what's a new update of something interesting that you're doing? Are you doing something from the community? Is there something else about your past that you're talking about now? Like, hey, I'm now chatting about this crazy thing that I survived when I was a kid. And I noticed that it's Cancer Awareness Month. I lost my grandma to cancer, and I have this beautiful song that I think could inspire your viewers. How good would that feel to honor your grandmother in that way? Like, that's an amazing thing. And then how good does it feel to them to have this very heartwarming content that is great for the community, right? So I tend to lean towards that direction. I like charity. I like heartwarming stories. But again, it could just be interesting stuff. It could be a funny story. It could be anything like that. Does that make sense? I hope that answered your question, Kyle. Let's see if there's anything. Maria asked about follow-up as well. Yeah, so that answers it. Maria, Kyle, does that answer your question? Mita. Okay, Mita. Oh, this is Mita Dani. Hey, Mita, I wasn't sure if that was you or not. Can this be applied for visual artists? Absolutely. So Mita, what you would do is, instead of saying, here's the song that I wrote, it's here's the art that I created. So like the example that I just created, which is, hey, if it's Cancer Awareness Month, I've created this painting that I'm auctioning that I'm going to be donating all the proceeds to St. Jude's, right? That's a great story. Like, here's this beautiful painting I wrote. And maybe you've lost someone to cancer, or maybe you just painted some beautiful children that you saw, that to honor that maybe didn't make it, but now you're donating the money. There's like different ways that you can do it. But instead of saying, here's the album that I make, now it's, here's the paintings that I'm making because of it. Or it's Domestic, Abuse Awareness Month. And maybe you created a beautiful painting that shows healing, and you're going to, donate that to, whatever you auction it off for, that's going to go to a women's shelter. Or maybe now you're teaching painting seminars for kids at the Boys and Girls Clubs. And now you're going to go on a TV show and you're going to show the anchors how to paint. Like, how cool is that? Like, what's cool for us as artists, as musicians, they can interview us and then we can perform. So that's what's a really cool selling point. So then they have more like interesting material. And you as a painter, as a visual artist, you can do the same thing. They can interview you and then you can paint and you can show them how to paint. Like, how cool would it be if like the anchor, if you were like, all right, I'm going to show you how to paint a flower in 2 minutes, and then they had to do it. And then they had to have a painting. Like, viewers would love to see how an anchor painted something. So now you entertain their viewers in multiple ways. All right, cool. Eddie says a lot of what Christina's talking about is applicable to other fields in life in general. Guys, this is applicable to everything. You could be an author and you could be talking about the book that you wrote. You could be a motivational speaker and you'd be talking about your message. You could be a business owner that has this, fantastic, device that has saved people's lives. Like, it's all the same thing. You just talk about your story. Most of my audience are musicians, so I talk about most of it for musicians, but this is applicable to anybody and everybody that wants to be on major television. Yeah. Okay, great. Arjena says, I'd love to meet you one day. Awesome. I do live events sometimes. I would love to have you. All right. So online searches that you can do, online magazines, blogs, radio stations, websites, podcasts, use all of this, because a podcast wants you on if you have an interesting story. but you got to pitch yourself. You got to sell yourself, right? Television stations, music review sites. You can even do this for like X Factor, The Voice. Did you guys know that? That's how I got on X Factor. I submitted myself online. I submitted my story online. I didn't go stand in line. Ain't nobody got time for that. I didn't want to stand in line. I didn't want to do that. So I just submitted online. Altino said, can this work for rappers? Of course, it works for everybody. Works for absolutely anybody. What's your story? Come up with a story. Hey, you know, I used some examples earlier. Like, I don't know what you've been through, but if you talk about, hey, I went through this challenge and now I created an album and I'm, you know, maybe you're teaching songwriting to kids. Like, that's cool. Or maybe you're not doing anything inspiring like that, but maybe your story is just inspiring. Hey, I went through this and now I've accomplished, you know, XYZ. And let's say it's like, I don't know if there's like hip hop appreciation month. I don't know if that exists, but if it is, that's a great time to submit to different TV stations and stuff. Hey, hip hop awareness month. Most hip hop artists are rapping about this, but I'm rapping about positivity and inspiration. These are all just ideas. Okay. So Lil Tuna says, I have to focus on making music with a purpose again. I got used to making club music and party songs. And there's nothing wrong with club music and party songs. I make plenty. But it feels great. That's why I'm just telling you guys, like, I just want to really encourage you. Like, if you make songs that like heal people, that encourage people, that motivate people, that inspire people, it goes a long way for you. It goes a long way for your fans. And it's great for TV. It's very, very cool. People love it. Okay. Now, does that answer all of your questions, guys, about how this works in this process? And then I'm going to talk to you guys about an offer that I have to work directly with me and my team. So let me know if you have any questions first. Or if you'd like to work with me and my team, put in that chat box. If you'd love to get more help like this, if you'd love to learn more, if this was really valuable today, put that in the chat box. I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can. All right. Demel says, we have a recording of this. Yes, I will. And I'll be sending it out. You guys will get the replay by tomorrow. Brianna says, podcasts are awesome. You never know how many listeners you gain. Absolutely. Carla says, hip hop's 50th anniversary is being celebrated this year. And if you're a rapper, guys, especially reach out to hip hop magazines. Like, those are your people. If you make hip hop music, reach out to hip hop blogs, magazines, podcasts. And then you can reach out to TV stations as well, right? If you're a country music, reach out to country music blogs, websites, and podcasts. Like, it's all the same thing, right? You want to just reach out. You can reach out to the specifics in your genre, and then you reach out to general television as well. All right, everyone's saying yes, 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 yes. All right, awesome. All right, I'm seeing everyone saying yes, yes, everyone wants to know more. Okay, awesome. Let's talk about it. Knowledge is power. I love that, Juju. We all know that. And that's why you guys are here, because you're educating yourself on how to pursue your career. And I just want to tell you guys how big that is. I have to say that every time I do one of these. There's so many people that are not willing to get on a training like this. There's so many people that are waiting for everyone to do it for them. They're waiting to get discovered. Yet you guys are here and you took time out of your day to learn. And that makes you the 1%. You are part of the 1% of musicians that are willing to do that. And just because of that, you're already 100 steps further than people that aren't willing to do that. Okay. Awesome. All right, let's jump into this. And then I'm going to answer more questions at the very end. And last, I am going to give you guys all the slides. Okay. That's going to be my gift to you. I'm going to give you my slides. So you can watch all of this again. You can watch the replay and you can take the slides and go over it. Okay. Now, one of the hardest things about building my own music career was that I never had a mentor, and I had to figure out everything the hard way. I had to try different things. I had to fail, and fail again until I figured out what worked. This is why I spent 8 years barely getting by. I'd accumulated about $15,000 in credit card debt. I was sleeping on a kitchen floor of someone I found on Craigslist because that's all that I could afford, but I stuck with it. And when I was in my late 20s, I finally hit my first 6 figures in a year. And I went on to generate multiple 7 figures in the music industry with no label, no manager, no big fan base, no Spotify following, no TikTok, and no money. I had no mentors. I knew nobody that did it. I lived on a farm. I raised a pig because I didn't know anybody, okay? Now, I've created courses in the past that have cost thousands of dollars because I wanted to create courses to help other people. And I did. And I charged thousands of dollars for those. And I even had coaching programs that cost $5,000 or more. Some of you may have been a part of those, and they were amazing. I've had students literally make 6 figures a year now. How many of you guys would love to just pay $5,000 and make $100,000? Sign me up. Yes. But I wanted to create a way for me to work with musicians and show the path to creating a profitable career, even if someone couldn't afford that. So I kept on asking myself, how do I do that? How do I create something where it's also worth it for me? Because it's a lot of time for me. How do I make it worth it? But how do I also make it to where a musician who doesn't have the money, doesn't have the funds, is struggling and trying to figure it out? How do I give them access to that education? And this is what I came up with, okay? So for you guys, how would you like it if I could actually help you along your path to create your career, book shows, perform original songs, or perform cover songs while making a living doing what you love, and give you access to being able to learn from other experts? Like, check this out. Imagine if you could submit your music to record label execs, like record label A&Rs that normally you never have access to, like major producers. Like, some of you want to write songs for other artists, right? How many of you guys in here would love to work with other producers on your own music or for other artists, right? How many of you would love to submit your music to big songwriters or work with big songwriters? I did a huge conference last year where I brought in all the major record labels from around the world, and everyone paid $5,000 a ticket. It was a very expensive, I had to charge that much. It was very expensive for me to hold it. People got deals, people booked shows, people signed management contracts. It was amazing and it was worth it. But I thought, now that we have access to the internet, I want to give more people these opportunities. So I created something called the Music Hustler Success Path. And what I did was I want to explain everything that is in it. And one of the coolest things that I'm teaching right now at this moment, and I actually have a training on Thursday, if you guys sign up today, I created something called an artist monthly cash flow system. Guys, imagine if every month you had money coming in. You didn't have to start over every month. My artist monthly cash flow system, within the first 90 days, we did 25,000 in sales, and a little less than 20 of that is recurring, meaning every single month that goes into my bank account. So we didn't just do $25,000 in sales. Most artists release music and then you have to go like release another song, do another show. Well, imagine if you already had a monthly subscription where people are just paying you and you're already making $20,000. I released mine January 1st. We're at like 30 something thousand in sales and I'm barely promoting it. And I'm actually showing you guys how to do. This is just one of the things that I show you guys how to do. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys everything that you're going to get. So you get 2 monthly group sessions with me, just like we did today. So you get 2 monthly group sessions, except that we actually dive even further into it. I can check out your music. I actually check out website pages. I check out like your funnels. I check out so many different things about your business and I break it down. So just like today, if you found today valuable, I break it down even more in my future trainings. You also get 3 meetings with music record execs every single month. So I'm talking like record label A&Rs. We've had producers that work with everyone from Justin Bieber to Beyonce. We have booking agents. We just booked, and I'm going to show you guys a picture of an artist that we just booked on tour. They toured all over Jamaica, Bahamas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. Like the amount of success that we've had from this community is unbelievable. It's absolutely unmatched. And you guys are going to have 2 tiers. Okay, I'm going to show you guys here in just a second. There's a gold tier and a bronze tier. And we literally do music reviews every month where like platinum producers are going to listen to your music. And these are producers that are looking for other people to collaborate with. Like they want other songwriters. They need more songwriters. Okay. You also get access to the 6-figure music hustler course. This is a course that I sold for $1,000. If you go to my website and you try to buy it, it's literally $997 right now. I've sold it for that much for years. You guys are going to get that when you sign up. And you also are going to get the paid performer course when you sign up for the gold tier. And this is what we charge $5,000 for up until December. We were charging $5,000 to work with our team. And that's where we show you how to actually perform cover songs and travel the world. So for some of you that don't have your original songs yet, we even show you how to do it with cover songs. Like how I literally have made $1 million, a little bit over, it's like $1.1 million. Just performing cover songs. That's not even counting my original music and all my merchandise sales and all that stuff. So how cool is it that you have options? Whether you do original music or cover songs, you have the options to make money. So, and when you sign up, you get a huge bonus to help you build your own profitable music career with my help along the way. So this is a free bonus for all of you that you get, okay, when you sign up. How many of you guys have actually bought one of my lists? Most of you have. You've probably paid anywhere between $19 and $27 for a list, okay? I'm going to give you a free gift for signing up. I'm going to give you 10,000 music industry contacts. It's thousands of record labels, booking agents that book paid shows. And by the way, I always tell everyone, booking agents for me, I got one good booking agent. That one good booking agent has booked me more than $650,000 around the world. One agent. Everyone thinks that you have to have this big team. You don't have to have this big team. I've had one agent completely change my life. If all I ever did was work with that one agent, you guys know like how amazing like my life would just be just working with that one person. You don't need to have all those things. When everyone tells you got to have a big Spotify, TikTok, manager, record label, all that stuff, it's exhausting. Does it help if you have those things? Yes, but I'm living, breathing proof that you don't have to have those things. I made multiple millions of dollars without any of those things. I don't even have a manager now. I think people sometimes they just want to say they have a manager. If you have nothing to manage, if you're not making any money, you don't need a manager. I'm making money and I don't even have a manager because I like to keep all my money. Okay, so I'm giving you guys all of this. It's a $286 value. So I'm giving you 1,798 record label A&Rs or more. It sells online for $27. If you go online right now, you can buy it for 27 bucks. At 4,592 magazines, blogs, and Spotify playlists, it sells for $27, like I said. But this is going to be a free gift, so don't go buy it, okay? You can get my list of 3,446 fairs and festivals. It sells online for $27. I'm going to give it to you as a free gift when you sign up. You're going to get 836 booking agents. This is what I was just talking about. It sells online for 27 bucks. I'm going to give it to you as a free gift. In fact, right now, Careless Vibes, they're a group of young boys, love them. They submitted to me when they were like 17 years old, just amazing. They bought one of my books, this booking agent list that I'm giving you guys for free when you sign up. They bought this one book and they're booking $2,000 shows right now around the country. So they're going to pay $2,000 to perform their own original music, all expenses paid. They're paying for their flights, they're paying for their hotels, their cars, their food, everything. And they're performing their own original music. Imagine getting paid to perform your own original music, getting paid to build your email list, getting paid to build your fan base. You're getting paid instead of paying. Instead of paying, you're getting paid. Like that's the possibility when you know what to do, when you educate yourself, when you stop listening to what everybody else tells you you have to do. You have to post all kinds of content, spend all kinds of money. You don't have to do that if you know what to do with your talent. That is the magic of having a mentor. Follow somebody who has already done what you want to do and just do what they're doing. Find something that works and then just do it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel already turns. Your car already works. Right? You say, I don't want to drive my car. I'm going to go try to make something else and see if that works. No, you go buy a car because it works and you know it does. That's the whole point, right? And actually, I think I have a video. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, I do. Let me see. Let me play it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Devin Jelly. It's your boy Prince J. Reek. It's free, baby.
And I'm Pres Nick.
And we are
Careless Vibes.
We just wanted to give a big shout out to Christine Morel, her email list, all that. We signed up and we actually got shows so quickly. We actually got paid shows and we got paid well. The shows we got paid like $2,800 per show. Per show.
They fly us,
$2,800.
they fly us out. They pay for the flights. They pay for the hotel, the gas, the food,
rentals,
whatever.
everything.
Nothing out of our pockets. Just getting paid up front, like $2,800 to $3,000 a show. So it's been amazing. It's been very beneficial.
And a lot more shows to come. Definitely, that email list is very important.
Very important.
It got us up and going. So
Put in the work.
Yeah, we performed for over. I think we were prepared for a crowd for like 1,500 people.
1,500
Like it's
people.
crazy.
We had
We
a
signed with
500 people
amazing
crowd.
agency. Like, make sure y'all get that list. It's the real deal.
It's nuts. So they're actually getting paid $2,800 shows. So I thought they were getting paid $2,000 shows. They're actually making more than that right now. Let me put our slides back up here. Let me see. So I was actually wrong. They're getting paid more than that. They're making like $3,000 a show. How cool is that? Like, and they're just young. I mean, and they're young. They're starting out. They're doing original music. Like, that's just from one of the bonuses. That's one book. I'm giving you guys like 8 of them. That's just from one thing that I'm giving you guys. It's unreal. Okay. Next, I'm giving you guys a 21-day single album release strategy. This sells online for 27 bucks. So if you have a single coming out, this shows you exactly how to release it. You guys got music coming out? How many of you are like, I got this song. I don't know how to release it. I don't know what to do. I literally give you day by day showing them how to do it. Kyle says, I met them at your birthday party. They're awesome. They're one of my favorite groups ever. They performed at my birthday party. So great. You also get 1,076 publishing companies that can get your music on movies, TV, and commercials. This usually sells online for 27 bucks. I give it to you as a free gift. Brand new. This is something that we created. 424 college radio stations that play independent music. How many of you guys have tried to get on college radio? I mean, to get on radio stations and it doesn't work. Well, what a lot of people don't know is college radio stations will play music from independent artists because guess what? They're not run by corporate America. They're run by normal college students that love music. And especially if it's like a local college too, they'll invite you on. And colleges also pay a lot to have you perform. Usually I have never seen a college show pay less than $1,500 to start for a no-name artist. So if you get on college radio, you use that to try to segue into actually booking a show there as well. So you use this list and then you use our list of booking agents, and the booking agents are really great. Actually, and that's where Careless Vibes, the ones that I just showed you the video, they got a booking agent from that list. So awesome, awesome, awesome. You also get the media booking blueprint. So today's training that I did, I broke down the media booking blueprint into a 1-hour training, but you guys get the full training where I break it all down. I give you email templates. I give you all kinds of templates of the press releases and that sort of thing. So it's even more. People usually pay $97 for this training. I'm giving you guys for free as well. Okay. Marcel East, he is one of my students. And these are all people that you can reach out to. That's why I show you guys these, because I know it. I mean, what Arjanice says, I can't trust no one, but Christine, you have showed lots to us. I appreciate that. But I know it too. I'm on the internet. I see a lot of people. I see that a lot of people say a lot of things. These are all people you can look up. Look up Careless Vibes. They're performing all over the country. Like, you can't fake that shit. Like, it's real. Like Marcel East, like, I have what's awesome, and I need to share it online. Like, video footage, like, it's so great of people actually getting amazing results, being on television, being on radio, right? Marcel used this training and got his first song he ever recorded on the CW network. His first song he ever recorded. You know, I told you guys about Stephanie Marcel. She used this training and she recorded her album in her bedroom. Yet she was interviewed on Fox for 7 minutes at no cost at all. No cost. So let me show you guys what you're going to get, and then I'll let you guys know how you can sign up. Okay, so you get 2 monthly group sessions with me, just like we did today. So I do 2 of those a month. I actually have one this Thursday. So if you sign up today, I'm doing a session on Thursday. You get 3 meetings with record label execs every single week. That's with my good friend Kayla. She moderates those, and we have different record label A&Rs, producers, managers, booking agents, all coming on. You get to submit your music at least once a month if you're in our gold tier. So you actually get to submit your music for consideration. You also get the 6-figure music hustler course. I walk through how to build your entire online business like a record label. It's a $997 value. You get the paid performer course where I show you how to book shows around the world. It's a $997 value. And for free, you all get the music industry contacts bundle, which is what I showed you, like 10,000 music industry contacts, which is literally $4,771 total value you guys get. But you can sign up for only $27 or $97 a month. I shared with you guys that I wanted to create something that was affordable for everyone. So this is what I created for you. So I want to put that offer up for you if you guys would like to work directly with me. And I'll also put the link in the chat box for you as well. And I'm going to still break down what's in it. And then I'm also going to, I'll also answer any questions that you have about this. This is the link. Let me double check. And then I'm going to give you guys all of the slides from today so that you guys can actually sign up. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so let's keep going through this. I'm going to show you guys more of what's in here. Okay, so again, here's some of the amazing people that I've worked with. I told you guys that I worked with someone that's in their 60s. James is 65 years old. Okay, he had never booked more than a show. He had never gotten paid more than $500 a show. That's it. And he's a 5-person band. So that's less than $100 each after you pay for your gas, after you pay for your food, after you pay your taxes. That means he got paid like $40. Okay. So this is what he sent me. We worked together for 2 weeks. He said, thanks, Chris. I received it. I wanted to let you know we just booked our first $10,000 gig in New York, New Jersey, second quarter of 2022. Thank you for all you do and your guidance. Music hustlers for life. And then he emailed me later and he said, or he texted me later, months later, and said, hey, Chris, I received word today that Tony got us approved at San Manuel Casino starting at top of 2022. It's going down. They perform every month now for thousands of dollars at a casino. None of them are younger than 55. They're between 55 and 65 years old. If any of you have ever felt like you're too old, as long as you can hit stages and you got energy and you can sing or do whatever it is that you do, you can still get hired for what you do. You don't need to listen to what people say. People say all that nonsense about you got to be this young, you got to look this way, you got to be this gender, you got to be this race, you got to have this amount of money, you got to be from this part of the world, whatever it is. None of that's true. You just have to know how to do it. Okay, so I'll give you guys the link right here. Here's the link if you guys want to sign up. It's either $27 or $97 a month. The difference is the $27, you get all the meetings. You get all of the trainings with me. So we get 2 trainings a month. And then you get 3 meetings with the record labels. The difference is when you're in the $97 tier, you get an additional VIP session. So after every training, you get a VIP session where we spend another hour together. And that's where I can review music. That's where I actually answer questions. Like right now, we're on Webinar Jam. It's like a webinar software. But usually when I do the trainings, we do Zoom. So when we do Zoom, we can actually talk to each other. It's a group training. And so you make other friends. You can collaborate with other artists. It's really awesome. There's lots of producers and artists now collaborating and like cross-promoting with each other, mixing and engineering each other's music. Like it's a really dope community. So you get part of our Facebook group as well, where you get to like, congregate inside of that Facebook group and make really good connections. From the bonuses alone, these are some of the really cool testimonials that we've gotten. He says, hey, Christine, Excitement Radio accepted my group from the Prolific from the South and will air it on Monday, on their Monday show, Best Kept Secret. They also gave me a number so fans and friends can request more music. That was one of the radio contacts in your ebook. Thanks so much. And guys, you get that ebook for free. That's one of the free gifts that you get for signing up. Just for the free gift, I would say it's worth it just to sign up. And then you get all the meetings and the trainings too. But I'm like, hey, like, because we spent like 6 months on each of those books to put together, guys. And we redo it every single year. Tremaine Taylor says, I got my song played again on satellite for New Year's. Thank you. Sky says, I submitted to some magazines and got accepted within days. Thank you for doing so much work for us. You have no idea how much it's appreciated, especially during these times. Nate Smith said, best value ever, guys and gals. I've already gotten paid gigs from this book. These are all people you can reach out to and ask. They're awesome. And right now, if you join, you actually get extra sessions with me because I'm showing you guys how to build monthly income, like how to actually, like I told you guys, my focus is really helping artists generate money so that you can do what you love, get paid to do what you love, quit the job that you hate, stop having to work for a boss, stop doing things that you don't want to do, help your loved ones, donate to charity if you want, go on vacation if you want, like all of that. And so you actually get an additional 8 weeks of more coaching with me, which is really cool. So I love it. I enjoy it. And again, I show you how to do, like, this was just one of the things that I'm teaching my group right now. So right now I'm teaching everybody how to make monthly income. And this was just something that we generated. We did 25K in about 90 days, but that's 25K that is now recurring. So it's a little less than 20,000 now, but like, let's say $19,000 a month. How many guys would like to just be making $5,000 a month? Would that change your life? Or even if you were just making $3,000 a month, I show you an actual path to do that. Just like I showed you the path today to how to get on TV shows. It made sense, right? At first it was like, how are you gonna get on TV shows? You gotta get lucky. Then I showed you the path and it was like, oh, that makes sense. That's what I do. I just show you the path. There's no magic pill. There's no magic nothing that you do. There's no magic. It's a path. It's if you do this, it'll take you to this step, and it'll take you to this step, and it'll take you to this step. You guys understood it today. You guys got it. And I know that sometimes it seems scary. Like there's no way I could be making $5,000 a month off my music. Yes, there is. It's not hard at all. It takes some time and it takes some learning and it takes some guidance. But instead of you trying to figure it out, that's what I like to do. What I do is I create a path for you and I show you a clear way to get there. So here's a link for you guys as well. One more time for you to sign up. So this is what you get. You get 2 monthly group sessions with me. It's a $497 value. You get 3 meetings with record labels. And once again, guys, we did this with our group last year and we charged $5,000. This is the first time, the first year that we've created something that is this affordable for all artists so that anybody can have access to these execs. So anybody can access. And these are people that I've met over, like, I've been in the music industry for like 20 years, guys. So I'm going to be 38 years old, like 2 months. I've been doing this for a long time. So all these people are my friends. These aren't people that do this. Like, these are not record label A&Rs don't go online and accept music from independent artists. They don't do that. Usually you have to have a lawyer or somebody fancy submit it for you. They do it because they're my friends and I'm telling them to come on here and I'm saying, look, we got the best group ever here, the most talented people, and I want you to listen to their music. So I've basically leveraged all of the relationships that I've made over my lifetime in the music career. And now we're like, hey guys, here they are. All my blood and sweat and tears. It's amazing. Okay. And if you're in the gold tier, you get to submit your music for reviews at least once a month. We just did that last week. Actually, we submitted all their music to a multi-platinum producer who's always writing music for tons of different artists. You also get the 6-Fig Music Hustler course where I show you, usually that sells for $997, but I show you actually how to build your funnels, your email lists, all that sort of thing. I also give you the paid performer course, which is a $997 value. And that shows you how to book paid shows singing cover songs, which is very specific. And then you guys get like all these bonuses. You get the 10,000 music industry contacts mega bundle. You get that for free. I just hand that to you. As soon as you sign up, you get that for free. And then you also get, like I told you guys, I'm showing you how to create monthly income so that you have monthly income coming in every single month instead of having to like release a new album, having to pay to release new songs. Like imagine, like it is so expensive to record an album. It's so expensive for you to record, like to pay for a music video, to pay a producer, to mix and master, to shoot photos. Like, and it's fun, but it's expensive. I show you guys how to create something called an artist monthly cash flow system. We have cash flow coming in every month. You have monthly subscribers where you don't have to be doing that. You don't have to be spending thousands of dollars recording new music. That's what's so great about this. Here's some of the other people that I've worked with. Raquel and the Wildflowers, again, someone that you can look up. These are all people. These are all, you can verify them, find them online. You can find all the beautiful pictures. They were on tour through Jamaica and Bahamas and the U.S. Virgin Islands. We actually just signed them to another contract. So they did a 12-week contract performing and touring through all kinds of tropical locations. They just signed another contract. It's a 5-piece band or a 4-piece band, 4 or 5-piece band. They're on tour. It's amazing. There's a link again. Someone's asked me for the link. There's a link to sign up if you want to sign up to work with us. We have the $27 or the $97 tier. But how cool is that? Like literally, they just got back off tour like a month ago and they're about to jump back on tour again. Like I went on tour and this is how I figured out how to do this. And I made all the connections. I did a tour through Bora Bora and Tahiti and the island of Moorea. Like I was swimming with sharks and stingrays. It was beautiful. I don't know if you guys have ever, has anybody here been to Bora Bora or any of this stuff? Like it's absolutely insane. And it can normally cost you a lot of money to go there, but imagine getting paid to go there. I call it a paycation. Like, so one of the cool things that you also get whenever you sign up is we have booking agents. Like we actually submit your music to booking agents ourselves. So even though we give you a list of booking agents, we submit. So that's what we did with Raquel. So I had posted online, hey guys, we have an opportunity. We have a contract open for a band that if you want to perform in the U.S. Virgin Islands, we have an opening. And she submitted. But see, whenever you're in my community, you get to submit first. So you get a whole 24 hours before I let the rest of the world know. So when you come on, you get to submit first. And I'm going to tell you 90% of the time, someone who submitted first gets chosen just because they're usually contracts they just want to get out of the way. And so they choose someone that promoted first. So that's what's another like pro of like signing up with us is like, we give you, because you're like in our exclusive community, we're like, hey, you're part of our people. So here's some opportunities that you get like first dibs at. Let me see if there's any questions so far. Let's see. Juju says, I've never been out of New York. Oh man, you got to get traveling. I show you how to do that. I even show you guys how to book a tour and all kinds of stuff. Utopian says, I paid. Is it going to come to my email? Yes. So Utopian, it should show up in your email within 10 minutes. If it doesn't, all you have to do is do this. Look, I'll give you our email address. It's this is our customer service. You just go to info@musichustler.com. Just email us and let us know. We'll get you all set up. Okay. Jack says, your price a month is such a steal for all the content you're giving this. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Jack. I really appreciate that. Like we created this for that. We just wanted you guys to have the access to it. So that was my goal here. My goal here was to create something because everything else we did was so expensive and justifiably, like I said, if you could pay $5,000 and make $100,000, that's great, right? but we just wanted to be able to help more people. So that's why this is cool. Chris says you work with a metal clean band with female vocals. We're kind of like Evanescence, but heavier. That's awesome. I actually have someone like that in our group right now. And she is one of our favorite bands, period. Like every time we have like a publishing agent or a producer coming in, they always love her material because it's like amazing. And it's like you said, kind of like Evanescence. Absolutely. So everything that I teach works for any genre, guys. It doesn't matter whether you're hip hop, your country, your classical piano. Like I've done this for everything. Like I myself have created Latin music, pop music. I play classical piano, like even for myself. I've had songs where I have rappers on it as well. Like I've done a lot of different things, and I've made money since I was, 18. I didn't make a lot of money when I was 18, but I made enough to live off of, just to pay, and I told you, I went like this. Sometimes I had a hotel. Sometimes I didn't have anything, right? I even slept in my car. But when I was about 25 years old, that's whenever I started to make real money. I made my first $75,000 in a year. And then I made my first $100,000 in a year. And then I kept making more and more and more, which was super cool. Right. But I was talking to artists and I'm like, even if you just made 60,000 a year, I remember just thinking if I could just make enough to do what I love and pay my bills, I would love my life. Right. But then I learned how to make 6 figures and then 7 figures. And I'm at this point now. It's like even these plaques back here, guys, both of those plaques are for doing millions of dollars. That's for charting on iTunes. I have one for Spotify. I actually have another plaque coming in for iTunes. Like I've done all that independently. Like I've charted, I've made millions of dollars. No record label, no manager, I have nothing. Literally nobody. It's just me. So when I teach you guys, when I tell you guys this stuff, I'm telling you because I've done it. This isn't something I watched on YouTube and I'm like, hey, I saw this guy and he said that you could make a living off music. No, I'm telling you because I'm doing it. And I've done it. Now I don't do music full time anymore. Now I teach full time, but I still release music. That iTunes track, I think I released that in January. I still charted. Everything that I'm teaching you is applicable to every type of music. Steven says, do you have a team? No, I don't have a manager. I don't have a record label. I don't have nothing. I don't have an investor. I don't have promoters. I don't have anything, Steven. Now, when I want to book shows, I can work with booking agents if I want, but I can also book my own shows on my own because I know how. That's what's great. Okay. So I show you how to do all that. So here is the list. Also, okay, awesome. Seeing Gary, do you do one-on-ones? I don't usually do one-on-ones, Gary. I'll be honest. You can email us at info@musichustler.com. You can request. I usually don't do them. That's why I do this group. Because like I said, our one-on-ones were $5,000. So I created a group coaching so that we didn't have to charge that much. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Here's some more. Like I got so many like testimonials here. Thanks for everything you do, Christine. I'm out here making big moves because of you. I booked a $7,000 gig with the tools you taught me. Thank you. His name's Jonathan. Jonathan Kenneth, I believe. I don't think it says it there, but if you look up Jonathan Kenneth, find him. He'll tell you. Mark says, my friend Pete and his son's band bought this a month or 2 ago. They're now playing regular paying gigs around the Southwest U.S. since about 2 weeks after getting it and have booked their first tour along with one other band in the Midwest, all paying shows. They're getting paid to go on tour right now. They said it was the best investment they've made after rehearsals and proper equipment. You know what they bought? They bought my list of booking agents. And guess what? You get my booking agents for free. Don't go buy the list of booking agents for $27. You could just sign up for the membership at $27 or $97 and get all of the books. I'm telling you guys how to save money. I actually lose money when you do that. But I'm just telling you, I'm like, go do it. Do that instead. Don't go buy the books. Sign up for the continuity. And then you get all the meetings with the record labels. You get the trainings with me. Aprina says, I'm traveling the world right now as a result of this. And that was, again, one of the books that she got for free. That's the gift I give you guys for free. One of my favorite students that I've worked with, his name is Troy Romzek. When he came to me, he was living with his grandma. He had lost his job. His girlfriend had just broken up with him, and he had to buy a bus ticket because he was homeless. So that's why he had to go live with his grandma. And he made $1,500 his first week. He now performs at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. You can actually go see him perform. I think he performs on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays at Mandalay Bay. He has a nice billboard and everything there. He built a house. Check this out. Look, he built his first house. It's actually built now. That was whenever he sent me a picture. He's like, look, Christine, I'm building my own house. He retired his family. His family's living with him now. And he's doing music for a living. Do you know how cool that is? How good would that feel to retire your family if that's one of your goals? Like my sister, she's quitting her job. She's working for me next month. That's so cool to me, to be able to employ my family, to be able to help them. Like that's why I always talk about like the importance of making a living, the importance of monetizing what you do. Because if you're not monetizing it, somebody else is. Spotify's taking your money if you're not. Might as well be you. There's other bands performing on stages making money if you're not. So someone else is taking that money. It might as well be you. And you might as well be doing what you love, sharing your music, sharing your gifts and talents, feeling like you have a purpose, feeling like you have a reason for living, right? Because that was me. I was like, if I'm not sharing my music, I don't even want to live. Like, that's just how I felt. I was that strong about it. I felt that strongly about it. And some of you guys feel that way too. So yeah, he built his house. Isn't that freaking cool? I'll put that link again on the chat right there. Let's see here. Jill says, you're the best, Christine. You changed my life. Awesome. I appreciate that, Jill. Delipa says, just signed up. I'm really excited. Awesome. And if you just signed up, our next training is on Thursday. So I'm going to see you in like 2 days. Duran says, where do I sign up? Duran, I just posted it again. Here you go. I just put it in there again. Juju says, facts. I want to retire my pops from playing the lottery, gambling his luck every day. Yeah. Like how cool. Some of our parents have done so much for us. You know, I want to give them a life. My mom put me in piano lessons, even when we had no money, we had nothing. She put me in piano lessons. I always say that's changed the trajectory of my entire life. Kyle says, do you need a one sheet for online radio? You don't have to have a one sheet. It's just nice to have one because it still makes you look more professional, right? It's kind of like saying like, do you have to have professional photos? You don't have to, but it definitely increases your chances big time, makes you look more professional, right? Danny says, can I please book a 30-minute consultation? Guys, I don't do one-on-ones. You can like request it on the email, but I just don't do them. Like I said, they're just, when we were doing the one-on-ones, they were like thousands of dollars. I just don't, for me, I created the group coaching so that I could really work with you guys on a group coaching level, but still you can email us at info@musichustler.com. Jem is there. Actually, Jem, I didn't realize you were on. If you guys put your email in the chat box, Jem can catch it, and then she can reach out to you if we start doing the one-on-ones. Maybe we'll do a couple. I don't usually do them anymore. I usually just do the group coaching. Like I said, the one-on-ones, you're going to pay like a few $1,000s, guys. That's the whole point. Like, you don't want to pay a few $1,000s to talk to me for 30 minutes. Instead, go on my group call, sign up for $27 or $97, and you can ask me questions right there. Why are you going to pay thousands of dollars to talk to me when you can just go on our group call? That was the whole point. The whole point was, I'm busy. I have a son. I have a million things I'm doing. And so I had to charge thousands of dollars. I created this program so you don't have to pay thousands of dollars. So you can now come on. You can ask me questions. You can check out your stuff. You can work in our community and only pay $27 or $97. If you want to pay thousands of dollars to talk to me, go ahead. I'm just telling you, don't do it. Sign up for the $27 or $97. That's why I created it. Unless you just got like money like that, then do it. That's cool. But I created this so that you don't have to do that. Okay. So here you go. Here's the link right there if you'd like to sign up. Arjuna says, I'll sign up after this training. Awesome. Chai says it won't let you click the link to get it. Uh-oh. Okay, Chai. What are you doing? Jem, can you help him? Maybe if you put your email right there. We have Jem on the call. She can help you with that, Chai. We got Brianna Taylor as well, who put her email. Okay, awesome. How long does the program last? So, Christy, good point. You can cancel whenever you want. There's no contract. There's no obligations. I just want to help you if you want to be helped. I want to help you build a career. If you want to build a career, that is all. If you don't want to build a music career anymore, cancel. Like it doesn't hurt my feelings. I mean, if you want to go do something else, go live your best life. Go do whatever you want to do. I'm just here if you want to build a music career. I'd love to help you. And if at any point you don't want to do it anymore, cancel. And I would wish you the best and would want nothing but joy and happiness for you. I just create this just to help musicians that want to build careers. So Chai says, here's my email. Jem, can you take Chai's email and try to help them sign up? I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe you just need it. Maybe she can email you the link. Anna says, girl, I'll take $27. That is all. Great, great. Awesome. I'm excited. Anna, I'll see you on Thursday. You just signed up. Big Star says music hustler for life. We got to get tattoos. I feel like we need to make it like a tattoo, you know? All right, so I'll go over it one more time. Jill says this program changed my life. Hey, thanks, Jill. I appreciate that. Thanks for staying on and being so cool about that. Kyle says, does the music for your reviews have to be clean? No, they don't. They don't have to be clean. So not at all. Lucia says, if a producer chooses our music for something, do we need to pay him? Lucia, you don't normally need to pay a producer. I don't know what you mean by that. But if you're talking about collaborating with a producer, like let's say you write songs for a producer, you don't need to pay them at all. In fact, if your song gets picked up by an artist, you get paid. So no, you don't have to pay for anything like that. Kyle says I'm part of Bronze right now. Awesome. Daniel says, did I miss the slides? I'm about to give you guys the slides. Thank you for reminding me. I actually kind of forgot. But I'll give you guys the slides. Let me just finish getting through this. I kind of got excited about answering questions for you guys and forgot. Okay. So this is what you're going to get. I'll give you guys the link one more time. You guys are going to get 2 monthly group sessions with me. So just like today, if you guys found today valuable, if today was valuable today, then I would say that this would be a really awesome program for you. Like if you found today really helpful for you, sign up. If you didn't find today helpful for you, don't sign up because you're just going to get more of what you got today. So if you're not happy with what you got today, don't sign up. But if you're happy with what you got today and you're like, this is really awesome. I like the way you teach. I like what you're talking about. I like, the way you present. And I think that you can help me because you helped me already today, then sign up. Okay. Because I would recommend it. 2 monthly group sessions with me. You get 3 meetings with record label execs. Sometimes it's more. This is just the minimum. You also get to submit your music at least once a month. We have different people coming on, usually producers and stuff. And then we also, on top of it, do like booking agents and that sort of thing. You also get the 6-figure music hustler course. You get the paid performer course. These are all sold for $997. You get the music industry contacts bundle. It's literally, if you went to my website and bought everything that's in that book, in that bundle, you'd pay $286. Don't do that. You can literally just go pay $27 or $97 and get all of it. Like I'm telling you how to save money. I actually lose money by you doing that, but I'm telling you, do that instead. Okay. I was a struggling musician, so I'm always like, save money, do this. Like, don't hire me for the one-on-ones. Sign up for the group coaching. You can if you want. I'm just giving you the better option or the more affordable option, okay? Because I would love for you guys to come in and get the education, but I want you guys to have money to spend on like your music videos, mixing and mastering, your production, like all that stuff, outfits, whatever those things are expensive. But your education is actually more important. But guess what? Christine's giving you that education for like $27 a month. Boom, right? So here is the link. Kyle, you didn't know about the Zoom calls? We're doing the Zoom calls every single week. Are you part of the Facebook group? If you're part of our program already, if you're paying $27 or $97 a month, you have a dashboard, okay? And on that dashboard, you can sign up for text messaging, and we send out an invite every single week. And on your emails, we send out an invite every single week. Brianna says, how long is this offer valid? I want to sign up on Sunday this week. I have to budget it. So Brianna, I think you should be okay. We do go up. We usually, like if you don't sign up within 48 hours, it usually goes up to $47 a month on the low tier. It might be 72 hours. I don't remember. I would just say sign up as soon as possible. And then you should be fine. Okay. Last, you guys get a 30-day guarantee. Sign up today. If you don't like it for any reason, but let's be honest, what's not to like about having a shitload of fun and make money while you're at it? Just let me know and I'll give you your money back. Like I said, I want to help you if you want to be helped. That is all. I want to help you build a music career if you want to build a music career. Sign up. You get all the bonuses for free. And we get to do all these really cool trainings together. You get to meet with record label execs, get to submit your music. Guys, it's like a party. We have such a cool time. It's fun. I meet with you twice a month. And actually, our next meeting is on Thursday. So if you sign up today, you're going to see me on Thursday. If you don't sign up today, if you sign up later, you're not going to see me for a few weeks. Okay. Let's see here. I'll give you guys a link really quick, and then I'll give you guys a link to the slides. Okay. But let me just answer any other questions that you guys have. And then I'll give you guys the link to all the slides. Okay. Harold says the link isn't working for you. Let me see. Let's see here. Maybe it's not working because of this. Let me give you the link again. Here's the link one more time, guys. Oh, Zeke says, can't wait for Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday is really cool. I'm going to be showing you guys how to collaborate with other artists. Like, I did a collaboration with an artist, and I was not big on YouTube at all. And I got 1 million views. 1 million views on my YouTube video because I collaborated with someone else, and I show you how to do it. It's kind of like today, right? Hey, if you get on TV, that's awesome. But how do you get on TV? That's what I'm going to be teaching on Thursday. On Thursday, it's like, oh, that's great for you to collaborate with a famous YouTube artist. But how do you do that? I show you guys how to do that. That's what I'm going to be talking about on Thursday. Wes says, what subject do you use on Canva for the one sheets? I think I put presentation or PDF, something like that. I think I put like presentation PDF. If you type in like cover letter, those types of things, that's what you can put in Canva, and you'll have a bunch of templates. Is that what you're asking? I hope that answered your question. Arjuna says, Christine, can y'all check my request for the websites and blogs you sent 13 days ago? Arjuna, did you, let me see. Let me give you the email really quick. So my sister actually handles those. She's the PR agent that handles all that. And if for any reason you're not able to get a hold of her, you can literally just email us at the email I put there, or DM me on my Instagram. Okay, on my Instagram, here's my Instagram. Okay, because there we go. Because Jem will get to it on Instagram as well. Okay, so on Instagram, if you reach out to us, because usually if it's 13 days, we usually would have it to you by tomorrow. If it's been 14 days. So, and if for any reason you don't, just reach out to me. Okay. Let's see. So, all right, let's see if there's any other questions. Let me see. Wasn't this today to be about how do we pay for how? Stephen, today was talking about how to get on major television. Did you miss the whole presentation? Because that's just what I finished for the last 2 hours, showing you how to get on major TV. All right. What time Thursday, Kyle? I think it's at noon. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if there's any other questions, and I'll give you guys the the PowerPoint presentation. There's the link again. If the other links didn't work for you to sign up, there it is. And I'm going to be sending a replay out as well. That'll be going out for all of you, so you can get that replay. Let me write that down. And let me get the link for the slides. Do you guys want the slides? Was that helpful today? Would that be helpful if I gave you all the slides so you could go through every step and like see exactly what to do? Like, would that be helpful? Can I give you guys that link? Steven says, I missed the first few minutes. I'll have to watch a replay. No problem, Steven. All right, everyone's saying yes. Brianna's saying yes. All right, cool. Let me give you guys the link right here. Okay, so here's the link. Download the slides. It's PowerPoint slides. And I'm going to be sending this replay out. You're going to get the replay to the training so you can watch it again. Like, you have all access to everything. Okay, that's my free gift to you just for hanging out. And for those that you signed up, awesome. I'm going to see you guys on Thursday. I'll just stick around for like 5 more minutes if there's any other questions. Like I said, if you want to sign up for the Music Hustler Success Path, there's 2 tiers. You can sign up for either the $27 one or the $97 one. I do 2 trainings just like I did today. I do them twice a month, but they're private ones. So they're exclusive ones just to you guys. You get access to all these courses that normally I was charging $1,000 for. You get 3 times a month, you get to meet with different record label execs and you know, producers and music industry professionals, all kinds of different people. And, you know, you can cancel whenever you want. There's a 30-day money back guarantee, so there's no risk. You know, I know what it's like to be a musician and to try things out and to, you know, figure out if you think you can do it. But I'm going to tell you guys, a big thing is sign up if you are in this for the long run. Like, if you are saying, I want to do music, I know I want to do this, then I would suggest signing up. If you're someone that's just like, I just want to try this out, don't sign up. It's not for you. Because I don't really do like get rich quick stuff. I'm not saying like, hey, I'm going to show you how to get, you know, rich tomorrow. I show you how to build a career. I built a career. I have a full-time, I'm in the music industry forever. Like, and I always will be. I've done this for 20 years now. And I teach other artists how to do it. So if that's something that you want to do, that's what I teach. If you're just here like, I'm curious about it, I would say wouldn't even sign up because it's not going to help you. If you are more like, this is what I do, this is what I love, this is how I want to make a living, this is the career I want to build myself, music is in my blood, then everything I'm going to teach you is going to change your mind, change your life. As long as you got good product too, as long as you're good at what you do. Let's just throw that in there. You also have to be good at what you do. You got to have talent. You can't just like not have talent and be like, Christine said, if I, follow her course, I'll get some results. You also got to have talent, okay? So let's be honest here. You do got to have talent. But as long as you have talent, the steps and the things that I'm going to show you if you implement will give you progress like you've never seen. All right, cool. Let me give you this link one more time, guys. And let me see if there's any other questions that you have. Arjuna says, Christine helps first filter, then you in the run. Yep. You need to see yourself as an artist, not just a hobby. Exactly. Brianna says, I've been in the game since I was 14. Yep. Shai says, I don't see the slides. Arjunus actually posted them. Thank you, Arjunus. Appreciate that. Bruce says the chance to meet with 3 A&Rs a month is at the $27 a month or $97 a month. Okay, so the way that works, 3 times you still get to meet with them. Like you're still on the Zoom calls. You get 3 different meetings with them, but you don't get to do the VIP calls. So once a month you get to submit your music to like a producer or a booking agent or that sort of thing. And you don't get to do that. You don't get to submit your music and you don't get the additional hour. So we usually do an hour talking to them. Like maybe there's a record exec that's talking about like, hey, these are the types of artists we're signing. This is how to submit your music, that sort of thing, to record labels, or, hey, this is how to, get your music heard. Like they're going to teach on something cool. But the second hour is usually where they're like, hey, send us a message on Instagram. This is where you can submit your music. This is where we'll actually listen to it. That's a $97 tier, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. So Anna says you're going to sign up for 27. Awesome. And you can always upgrade. So like, let's say you're on like a Zoom call, because we do them in a row. So we start with our bronze. So if you're in the $27 tier, we'll be doing let's say we're doing like a really awesome session with a songwriter or a record label A&R, and you are really feeling it. And you're like, oh man, they said that they were looking for a heavy metal artist and that's what I am. Or they said they're looking for a hip hop artist and that's what I am. And I want to submit my music. So then we give you the option. You can upgrade to gold. And then on the second Zoom call, we usually take a break and then you can log on. And then they'll say, okay, this is where you submit. And so then you're able to actually upgrade at that point if you want later, if that makes sense. Kyle says, will you be able to orally ask you questions because it's hard to type and listen? Yeah, Kyle, actually. So all the group sessions that we do Zoom calls. So when I'm on there with you, you can actually turn your camera on and we can talk. So that's what's great. So here, just to keep it like organized, because there was literally like 400 people that registered today for this. Can you imagine if I had let 400 people turn on their Zoom cameras and microphones? That would have been madness. But instead, I do Zoom calls. And you can actually come on video and those are like the people that have signed up that are serious. It's not just 400 people that signed up for a free training, right? This is a free training. On the other one, you actually get to come on a Zoom call and we get to talk. Okay, awesome. Let's see if there's other questions here. Duwald says, I'm a musician composer who plays exotic instruments and was described as sounding like Hans Zimmer and Jimi Hendrix. That is a cool combination. Fighting over a beautiful princess from another galaxy. Can you show me how to monetize what I do? Absolutely, Duwad. So everything that I teach, as long as you think that there's at least 1,000 people in this world that will like what you do, if there's 1,000 people in the vast world of billions of people that live on this planet, there are at least 1,000 people in this world that you think would pay for your music, that would pay to listen to what you create, then you can absolutely create a profitable music career and a 6-figure music career at that. That's what I teach how to do. So it's up to you. Do you think 1,000 people in this world would pay to listen to your music? If you do, if you think it's good enough for that, then I would say absolutely. Great. Kyle says, I'll be on Thursday. Awesome. Brianna says, Dawad, that's incredible. I know, right? It's super cool. Now I'm like interested and I want to hear what you do. West Coast says, is this going to be on the landing page? What do you mean, West Coast? Is what going to be on the landing page? Kimberly says, do you teach the business side of the music industry? That's all I teach, Kimberly. I don't teach how to make music. I don't teach how to write music. All I teach is how to make money with your music. That's it. I teach how to also make money even if you have no music. I teach how to make money in music. That's what I teach, right? Marketing, advertising, how to build your fan base, but mostly how to monetize. I don't usually teach you how to get famous because I'm not famous yet. I've made millions of dollars in the music industry. I teach you how to skip all that stuff that everybody says you have to have, like a Spotify following and a TikTok following and a big fan base and a manager and a record label. I teach you how to skip all those things and actually go straight to making money. As long as you have the talent and as long as you're willing to do the work. If you do not have the talent, you're not willing to do the work, don't sign up. Okay. Awesome. Let's see here. Alyssa says, see you Thursday. Awesome. Can't wait. West Coast says, I'm already a member. Cool. Yeah. So if you're already a member, make sure you sign up for those text messages. On your dashboard where you sign in, it has where you sign up for the text messaging so that you can get reminders. So just make sure you're part of the text community. All right, let's see if there's any other questions here. See if I missed anything, guys. If not, I'll be logging off soon. I've had such a great time with you guys. I always have such a great time. And thank you to so many of you who, shared your stories. I know that that's not easy. And some of you were just so openly transparent and shared kind of some of the things that you've been through. And I think that feels good. When you have like a community where you can like be open. I feel like the music industry can be really competitive and can focus on the wrong things. And so for me, that was like a big thing for me. Like there was a time when I had thought about like just getting out of the music industry because of that reason. And I was like, I felt like it just wasn't a loving community. And maybe that was just the community that I was in. But then I was like, I want to create a community where people support each other, where people want each other to win. And that was where this came from. So everyone in our community, like you'll see on the Facebook group, it's like people are collaborating with each other. People are working with each other. It's just really cool. Okay, awesome. I think we handled all of the questions. Jem put our email in there. And so there we go. All right, awesome, guys. Here's the link one more time if you'd like to sign up. And Brianna says, when and where is your next show, Christine? So I told you, Brianna, earlier, I don't do music full-time anymore. I teach music full-time now. Every now and then I'll do a show. I did one at the Wynn Casino here in Las Vegas a few months ago. And every now and then I just jump on stage and perform just for fun. But I will be posting when I do another show, okay? All right, awesome, guys. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me again. If you'd like to sign up, you have the link now. Here it is one more time. And if you have any questions, just email us at info@musichustler.com and we can help you along with that. If you signed up, I will see you on Thursday. It's freaking awesome, guys. I have such a good time in my group and I can't wait to see some of you that just signed up. And Kyle, yeah, if you join on Thursday, you absolutely can show me your promo video. All right, everybody, have an amazing day and I will see you on Thursday. All right, bye.